Hi Mehul ji.
Hi, Divya. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. Very nice to see you.
Same here. So welcome to Levels Cancer and ZenOnco.io.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is a Cancer Link Journey Talks where we invite speakers who have gone through cancer, maybe as patients, caregivers, or warriors like you who have been through this journey, came out beautifully, and now inspiring other cancer patients and caregivers by sharing their journey. So thank you so much for joining us. It's an honor to have you with us.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me today.
Yeah. So could you please start with your journey, how it all started?
Yes. I don't like to say that, but let me share it with you. I was a smoker when I started smoking since around 14, and when I was in college, peer pressure, and then uh, I used to smoke a packet of cigarettes a day approximately, and then gradually, when I was 6 years ago, 7 years ago, my voice started it started hurting me, and it became hoarse. I started losing weight, and I knew something was wrong in my throat because I had trouble swallowing and breathing. I kept going to my local doctor, and he kept prescribing antibiotics and kept changing them if they were not working. Then one fine day, my mom she heard me breathing, and she took me to the big hospital there in Pune. And then they did an endoscopy, and they found a big lump on my right vocal cord. So they did a biopsy, and then it came out to be a stage 4 cancer on the larynx. Um, and my wife was in the US, so she was here for her job, and we had planned to travel to US. I was in India waiting for my kid, who was 7 years old then, for a school year to get over, and then we had planned to move down. So when she came to know about this, she kind of did some research on how she could work on it, and then finally I flew down to the US to get treated. So the answer to the question is like, yeah, this is how it was diagnosed. I used to smoke, so I invited my cancer, and uh, landed at stage 4.
Yeah. So when you first got to know that it's cancer and it's because of your smoking habit.
Mhm.
So how you took that why didn't you stop and why didn't you listen to others?
Yes, good question. So when I came to know I had cancer, I you have that intuition, huh? You have that thought key, there will always be something like that. So I knew something was big, but I was so afraid of even talking about that C word. And then finally I got to hear it. Yeah, you have cancer, and that's stage 4. So I was shocked. I should not be shocked because I knew I was going to have that. But I was not ready to accept it. I was in decline. I was in decline mode, and I was shocked. I started crying. Why me, and all those common questions. Uh, and then I cried for 2 or 3 days a lot, and they had immediately put a tracheostomy tube in my throat because I could not breathe. So I was unable to talk. So the shock of hearing about cancer, and like, again someone putting a throat in your tube, tube in your throat, and you're not able to talk, that combined together, and I was very frustrated. I was not able to vent it out to anybody, and that was the worst period of my life. Excuse me. And then a couple of days after crying and sulking and all, blame game and everything, then I found out that this we cannot go back. We have to just move forward.
Yeah.
So then I thought of okay, job hua so hua now. I'll have to pay for this, so I'll think of ways to fix it. So I decided to fight it out, and then that's how I mentally prepared myself for it.
And now here you are.
Now here am I.
Yeah. So how your family took this news?
My parents were shocked. My wife was in the US, so I don't know her reaction exactly, but I'm sure she might be angry because she was the one who used to always tell me, "Don't smoke, don't do this, don't do that," and I never listened to her. So I'm sure she might be very mad at me at that time, and then she might be sad and crying because we just planned to start a dream life, right?
Hmm.
She was here in the US, my kid was 7, and we planned, okay, we have a nice life and all, like everyone thinks so. And that was shattered in a moment. So, but she's very brave and she's very, she does not react at the situation. That's very good. So she thought a lot and then she talked to my doctors in India. She found out some more doctors in the US and she compared, she shared my reports. And then in a week's time, she decided to get me here. So not much people in my family, but my brother and my parents. So they were shocked, and my wife was the one who actually thought what to.
What to
So
do now?
yeah.
Yeah. So what treatment you underwent?
Sorry, I need to keep sipping water because of my throat.
No, yeah. So
So when uh, they had planned a surgery to remove my vocal cord, so I would be with a stoma here. But when I came to the US and they scanned me again, the tumor had spread to my spine.
hmm.
So surgery was out of question. So then they just told me bluntly, at the most, you might survive for a month. So I'm like, no. So then they said, let's give it a chance. Let's start with aggressive chemo, and it might work. It might not. Most chances are that it might not, because even if the tumor shrinks, it should shrink in the right direction. It should shrink towards the vocal cord, not towards the spine.
Hmm.
So again, there were very dim chances, and then I didn't have an option. So I said, okay, do whatever you want. Put all that poison in me, and it worked. So the tumor started shrinking. Started shrinking in the right direction, and then again, um, uh, 1 month became 2 months, 3 months, and 7 months. All my chemo, I was doing well. My body was responding well to that chemo, and after my chemo was over, they again scanned me. They still found a little traces of cancer in my throat, and they thought, okay, they gave me choices like, we can still remove the vocal cord by surgery, or then we can do a chemo radiation together. So I was pretty confident by that time. Okay, I said, let me continue with chemo radiation because I don't want to lose my voice. I want
Yeah.
to talk. If I have survived to 7 months and I'm doing good, I was very positive. Cancer made me, a very positive person. So I'm like, no, 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 I'm going to take that chance. So again, they did warn me that even after you do radiation, your neck would become like wood. So we won't be able to operate after that. Then later, if you tell me that no, we'll do surgery now, then that would be very hard. So I played that game and I said, okay, I'll not go with radiation and chemo, and then another 4 5 months of chemo radiation together, and that worked. So I'm out of it now.
Yeah. So what were your side effects?
A very long list of side effects. So the normal chemo during my treatment, the normal side effects that every fighter goes through, like I lost my hair, I lost those. I had nausea, vomiting, and all those effects because of chemo. Then because of the radiation, my neck was burned. Even my beard doesn't grow on this part because it's all gone. My senses of taste have changed. So the taste buds are all burned. So the things that I did not like before, I started liking them later on. And the ones that I didn't like. So
Yeah.
it went the other way. And then it was funny, yeah. So my wife is like, I'm sure some of that radiation might have gone in your brain and all that. And then um, so what they do is when they do radiation on your neck and jaw area, they remove the teeth. So they don't want the molars, the teeth to be in the line of radiation. So they had pulled out my molars before my treatment.
Okay.
And then, so I had just the front teeth over here. So, but after my radiation, the teeth started chipping off, the remaining teeth, because of the
Hmm.
blood not going there. And so I had to get all my teeth replaced. Like I've got 12 implants in my mouth. So that's a big problem. Then again, my jaw opening is restricted firstly because of the tobacco, and then secondly because of the radiation. So I cannot open my mouth wide like to eat a pani puri. So that's a big problem. And then have you heard of the word tinnitus?
Yeah, tinnitus,
The
in
buzzing,
brain.
yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, so that started after my chemo, and it's still there, and it's going to always be there. That's what they told me. That it's a very the sound of the insects chirping, or the
Buzzing
pressure
sound
cooker
like.
buzzing sound is there, and it's so bad sometimes that you really cannot concentrate, and it's difficult. So that is one of the permanent side effects. And then I have got my thyroids are damaged, so I'm on lifelong thyroid medication. I am on my blood pressure, my organs are also got some weak. So BP, thyroid, and all these tinnitus, lifelong companions that will keep reminding me of my deeds.
So, with all these side effects, how you manage to stay positive and this jolly?
So a couple of incidents happened when I was in treatment. Uh, I lost two of my very close friends. One passed away in an accident, and one passed away. One never woke up in the morning, like he got a heart attack. So, and we were in college. We were the same age. We have kids of approximately the same age. So that made me think that, and they both are health freaks. No smoking, no drinking, no nothing. All go to the gym regularly and all eat good food and all those things. That made me think that they didn't deserve to die like this, because they were doing everything to live a good life. But then I was not doing anything of that. But uh, I'm lucky because I still got a chance. Even if I'm going to die after a month, I still have those 30 days, which they did not get for no reason.
Yeah.
So that's a privilege. So I am privileged than many other people like them. So I should be happy and not sad. I know that I'm going to die after a month, so I have got 30 days to make the most of it. So I'm going to do that. So that still continues with me. So I am privileged to wake up today morning and talk to you. So I'm going to make the most of it. There are so many thousands of people in the world today who did not wake up. So that made me think, change my perspective of life. I stopped cribbing.
Yeah.
I have trouble in throat, but there are many people who don't have who are just worse. So why should I crib about my problems? There are many people. So I am much privileged. That thought process will always remain with me, and that always makes me satisfied. Even if I lost my teeth, I still have problems chewing and all, but I'm happy. At least I can eat.
Yeah.
So that is what changes everything. And then if you are satisfied, and I believe in the power of attraction a lot. So you might have heard me saying that before.
Yeah.
So you think good, or think of good things, and good things come to you automatically. They fall in place. If you think of buying a red car, okay, you plan, okay, I'm going to buy a red car because no one in my area has a red color car. So you start planning about it. You go and you go out and you see, oh, there are no red cars. So mine will be like, attractive to people. She got a red car. And
Yeah.
then once you buy a red car, you see, oh, so many red cars around you all of a sudden. And they were not so many cars, but now I've got a car, so everyone has got red. But it's the power of attraction. So but it works for me. And there's no harm in thinking good, right? There's no harm in attracting good things. What are you going to lose? And if it works, works. And it does work for most of the people. So I always thought during my treatment I needed something to hold on. I'm going to do this. I'm going to go on a cruise. Bas, I'm going to do that. So एक बार वो cruise में जाके आया, then I'm going to think of something else. Okay, I'm going to dance in my kid's wedding. I'm going to wear this and I'm going to do that. So that will keep me hanging till then. उसके बाद अगर तब तक जिया, if I still alive, then I'll think of something else. So it's all your brain. Your brain is a big, powerful machine that can change so many things. So I don't know what
Okay.
was your question, but I hope I answered it.
Yeah. So
I
like
forgot your
small
question.
goals you had. I
Yeah,
said that.
yeah, live
Please continue.
positiveness. Yeah, yeah. So live every day like it's your last day,
Yeah.
and then you definitely need to look down and not look up. Look down at people who are less privileged than you. Privilege. I use that word because it's a privilege
Hmm.
that we don't realize.
Yeah.
So I make people realize that, man, you are privileged to be here and talk and whatever you're doing, think about others. So be happy. That
Yes.
that that works for me.
So what was your support system?
My wife, my family, most important, and I had that's actually for people fighting cancer. Some
Hmm.
I won't call it. I won't scare people like saying a deadly disease, but people fighting like disease like cancer, where it's the treatment is going to be long and harsh.
Yeah.
You need a good support system. You need people to be with you and understand you,
Hmm.
your pain or what you're going through. It's difficult to see and understand. It takes patience. They have to be very patient with you. Like you throw tantrums and your brain is unstable and all. So my support system, my wife, because she was the only one who was there with me. She used to do a job in the day. Evening, she used to take me to the hospital for chemo, and then we used to come back for a whole year. And then I could not talk, so she could not understand because we never had sign languages, and then I was tired of writing on the tab and all that, and the chemo was making me more mad. So I was a bully, and then she she has handled everything very nicely, and the doctors and the medical team was also very good, very understanding, very very compassionate. Like they would talk to you as if they know you so well, and that really helps you a lot. So it's not just uh, uh, the physical support that you get, but also you need people to talk to you and make you
Yeah.
feel that I understand what you're saying, and that really feels good.
Yes. So you were not able to speak, and your wife was not able to understand what you wanted to say.
Yeah,
And it needs a lot of patience to understand each other's condition, that what they
yeah.
are going through. So how you both manage these things?
So yeah, so she got me. It took a couple of days for I used to write.
Mm.
My writing was not good, so she could not understand my writing as well sometimes. And then
Okay.
I used to get. I'm like, all of a sudden you have to write everything, and then she got me a tab.
Hmm.
The tab worked for me. It was a nice tab, and then I used to just write or type on it. So that worked. And then gradually, a couple of months, she was just eye contact. She knew, okay, now he wants this, and I got used to her. So the couple of initial months was a problem, but then gradually things. And I sometimes I still wish I was not able to talk because I did. I talk something I should not, and then I get into a problem. So, see, even in this, there's a positive thing that you cannot talk, so you're not into problem. But now
Yeah.
I talk and I talk what I should not, and then she gets mad. So take the positive thing, and if there's anything, there is every negative has a positive thing. So yeah,
Yeah.
but that's how it was fun. When I think back about that time, and we both laugh like, oh, okay. I still have that diary where I used to write notes to her, and even if I was good, if I get mad at her, I used to even write abusive words. So
So
yeah,
now you take this as a on the other side. Look at the other side, the
yeah,
funny
yeah. So
way.
so even for the side effects, I forgot to tell that I had that chemo brain. Every that's a common side effect. So what happens is that you tend to forget things.
Yeah.
So I made full use of that chemo brain, but now she doesn't buy it. So sometimes I forget things, like I forget to get what she asked for, or my chemo brain, still forget. Don't do Natak and all. She said, no, you're completely fine. So I've tried to take advantage of all the situations I was in. So I'm happy.
Yeah. So your kid was just 11 or 12 years old, right? At that
Seven.
time.
He's 15 now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's 7.
Hmm. So when someone get diagnosed with cancer, it affects the whole family. And for such a young kid, it needs a lot of attention and positive environment at home. So how you manage that cancer diagnosis must not affect his mental conditions?
So when my kid, when I was diagnosed, he was 7, and was he didn't hardly could understand what's going on, but he
Yeah.
knew that I was in the hospital and seeing people talk to me and their reaction, and he knew it was something serious. I remember I still have a picture of him when I was sleeping in India.
Hmm.
He came. He might have come with my mother-in-law to visit me, and he wrote on my palm with a pen, "Get well soon, Baba." He calls me Baba. Get well. And I woke up. I'm like, man, my kid. I'm so sorry for what I'm going to. I still have that picture with me. And then when I and my wife were in the US, he was back home in India with my mother-in-law. So the communication was only on the uh, on the phone or something like that. But then after my treatment, he did come down to the US. He's been very considerate. He hates people who smoke and drink and do all that. So that's a good part. But he missed all those years when he needed a father with him to play, to take him out and whatever that. So he used to see other kids go out on Sunday with their parents, and that he used to miss all that. So that's the age now. Those 4 5 years when they really need that, and I could not do that for him. So that is always going to be a, a not so good thing for him, and a bad thing for me as a father.
Yeah,
But
but
apart from that, he's handled everything very well, and he's been very sensitive, very understanding, and he's taken. He used to come to the hospital with me. He used to tell my doctor that my dad is, he's very brave. Don't worry, he won't cry, and so many things, so many incidents I remember about him. But yeah, he has been through a lot.
yeah. So what matters is you both have come out and might have much stronger bond than before.
Yeah, bonds. Then yeah, he does, but he's not that vocal about. He doesn't like to talk about it.
Yeah.
So when I'm usually on many cancer support groups, and I'm talking to people, and I'm trying to help them, and so if someone sends me a compliment, I'm going to show him, see this guy, he said, oh, you've survived cancer, and you are a fighter and all.
Yeah.
Don't boast and all, he doesn't. He said, you keep
Yeah.
boasting, showing off, do that. I'm like, okay, so he doesn't like me talking about the past, is what I understand. So I avoid doing that. We
Yeah.
just move on. Yeah.
Yeah. So what was that one thing that kept you going on your journey?
Yeah. Before this, I answer this question, I just remembered one more thing about my kid. When he was in school here, so there are these firefighters and this policeman come to them, the school, and they would show the fire engine and all to those kids. So he made a card for the firefighters, a greeting card saying that you are very good people. You put out all the fire and all. And then in the last year, my father used to smoke. He has got
Mm,
cancer.
mm,
I don't know why that line came with the firefighters because of the smoke or the word, but yeah, that so that makes me feel. I still have that card with me. That even in school, he used to keep thinking about me and my cancer and smoking, and also yeah, I've messed him, messed up a few years of his very important life. Yeah. I'm sorry. What was the next question? Yeah,
I asked what was that one thing that kept you going?
it's not just one. There are many. The one thing is, yeah, basically, I need to um, I need to pay back for all that I've done for my family. So I'm here for them now. They did a lot for me. They I have to repay back. So that's one that keeps me going. Then again, I realize the value of life, how important it is. So I respect life. I respect that I'm alive. I have to make good use of it.
Yeah.
And I have learned from all these years, like 5, 6 years after my treatment, when I speak to people and I try to help them, it gives me some joy. It makes me happy that, because during my time, there were not many groups like these, like Onco and, and all these support groups that people could talk to and relate to other people with similar type of cancers. And also, I do make sure I participate and how much I can try to give an example. And if I can, you can.
Yeah.
So I just do things that keep me happy, and that makes me go on and on. And I'm basically I'm doing my job. It's the job I'm doing as a fraud investigator. That's also funny. Like it's uh, um, my friends they say चोर के हाथ में चाबी दे दिया, that kind of thing. So uh, so that is something that also I'm happy to do. And you know what, Divya, if you are happy, if you just stay happy, you get all the things that you get into the habit of being happy. So that makes you go on. That's the same with me. Like, okay, whatever. I'm happy with this. So family, living, making sure that everyone, I can do everything in my reach to make others, to give back. That's what makes me go on. Yeah.
Yeah. So, what are your life lessons through your cancer journey?
Life lessons: don't smoke. I have a group of youngsters against smoking, so I'm always on it, making sure to help or being an example, show myself like, okay, see, I've been through this, and so I'm lucky to survive. Everyone is not, so don't do that and all. And then lessons learned. Another one is that be happy, be positive. Stop crippling, as I told you, that you need to always be happy and privileged that for what all you have, because everyone does not have what you have. So being satisfied is, I learned to be very simple and satisfied, and you get your things at your time. You uh, I believe in that power, and I totally understand that, when it's time for me to get that thing, I will get it. If I'm not getting it now, there must be a reason behind it. Um, just making sure that you do not hurt others, or you do not. If someone is rude to you, try to think that it must be a bad day for him or her, and just move on. And then probably it happens with me all the time. Like, someone in office who spoke rudely, I'll just, it's bad. And then later on, that person will definitely 88% it will come back to me like, oh, sorry, I'm so sorry for that day. I'm like, okay. And then they next time, they, even if they are in a really bad mood, they're going to be very careful talking to you. I don't want to be that type of person. And then, yeah, so live life today, finish as if there's no tomorrow.
Yeah.
That is what I learned. So make use of all you can in today. Maybe tomorrow you may not, and accept it. You are just temporarily. Someday you're going to go. ये सोच के do not live in that notion that I'm going to live forever.
Yeah.
That will make you grounded and happy.
Yes. So, do you have that fear of relapse with you now?
I have. I It's always going to be there, but I've learned to live with it, because again I told you that I accept it now, that I'm going to go one day.
Yeah.
Might go by relapse. I might go by an accident. I might go by an attack. I don't know. So that was just a concert train pakadte hai hum would. It's not in our hands, right?
Yeah.
Then he is going to call. He's going to just say, okay, you come in this train, and hey, you just have to sit in that and go. So that
Yes.
fear is always there. But then uh, I I realized that it's no, it doesn't make sense killing yourself every day living in that fear.
Yeah.
when you accept, you have to go one day, for sure. Then you slowly come to terms, okay, then let me live today. Why? And in many support groups and cancer groups, I always keep telling, don't, if you are in remission, be happy. People are not so lucky like you to even be in remission.
Yeah.
So enjoy it. And then I don't have a fear of relapse. If it comes, it comes. I have to deal with it.
You don't focus
So
on that part now.
absolutely not. But I make sure that I have changed my lifestyle. I make sure I do not do those mistakes which I made earlier. So I'm not going to invite it. I'm going to prevent it. I'll do all in my capacity.
Yeah.
I will eat good food, live a good healthy lifestyle. I'll do all I can to avoid the relapse. But if it comes back, then it is like, it's a part of it. Like, okay, I'll have to accept it.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it's just how the way you think it. If you want to live in fear, live. If you want to live happily, live. You want to live that much, or how much you have to live. It's up to you how you're going to live your life. So no, I don't have any fear, and if it comes back, we will see what to do.
Yeah, that's the only option we have then.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
even when I was in treatment, and I was, and that used to make me think that, okay, if I'm still happy, I'll die happily even if I die after 2 months, because I'm privileged and that friends of mine, so I
Yes.
should not cry. So that always is going to remain with me. It's going to keep me grounded, and I'm going to be happy. Okay, I have got that bonus life that I lived. And to be honest, Divya,
Mm.
before my life, if you have seen one of my presentations I show in schools and colleges, it's like my life before cancer, my life during my treatment, and my life that I'm living now. So before my cancer was like going out for parties, smoking, drinking, and I was thinking like any other teenager that that's life. Then my treatment, and now my life is after my treatment, I got to do all those things. My life changed. I got to drive cars which I never thought of, Lamborghini and all those. I have a Tesla. I drove very nice bikes. I was like any other person. I like cars and bikes, and I got to do all that. I got to see so many places. I keep traveling, except for this COVID. Every year you will see me and my family going someplace. I learned to drive a plane. Learned to fly a plane. I never thought I'm going to fly a plane. So, and then I show all these pictures to these youngsters and I say, hey, man, you guys, you decide, this is not life. This is life. You will know how it feels to do all these things. And then they realize, yeah, but when can you do this? When you stay alive. If you're going to smoke and
Yeah.
drink and die, you will not come here. So decide now. So that's what I always want to say. And I never planned about all that. It just came to me. So if it can happen to me, it can happen to anybody. Life is,
Yeah.
you never know. It just changes like this.
Yeah. Right. So, what are the lifestyle changes you made now?
Completely change everything. I wake up in the morning. First thing, I have warm water with lime water and all those honey, ginger. I avoid processed food. I do have some junk food now, but initially after my treatment, I never did that. My diet is like 80-20 combination. 80% you have very healthy food, and 20% is weekends. Okay, thoda chips with kalia, that kind of thing. Go to the gym regularly. I try to stay fit as possible, and I um, I make sure I have everything in limits. Okay, if, people have all those myths. You should not have milk products and you should have not have sugar and all. So that's not right. There are limitations. You cannot have excess of everything. But if you keep eating a lot of sugar, you're going to have diabetes or some problem. Milk products, because there are processed foods in that and chemicals in that. So, but that causes cancer is a myth. So that is what. So I have everything in limits and just spend most time. And grateful to COVID for letting me spend time with my family, and I hope to spend more time like this. I just, that's my life. Like get up, do some exercise, and then have some healthy breakfast and all, salad and fruits. I don't like fruits. I never like fruits, so I make smoothies and I drink them. So and that I believe, your body is your own doctor. If you have something and your body does not like it or doesn't react properly to it, you're going to not feel good. Like you might vomit or you might have acidity. So if something works for me, it will not work for you for sure. It might work differently. So understand what you feel good, and then your body. If you have something and your body feels good for it, then that's good for you. If your body is acidic and you have more acid, then it's not good for you. So never compare. I always tell that, in this fight, never compare that. Okay, he's doing this, so I'll do this. No, that's wrong, because their cancer is different. Every cancer is unique.
Yeah.
So work on yourself.
Correct. So how is your life after cancer going now?
Fantastic. My journey, very nice. Yeah, no regrets. Everything is fine. God's grace. There are problems. Maybe the life is the same, but I'm finding it good. Problems are still there. I have problems at my job. I have problems at home. I have problems. Every problems are there, but I don't think them as big problems, because I had the biggest problem in my life. So these are just, it's move on. So uh, problems are going to be there always. That's life.
Yeah.
But how you take them, how you approach them, that's important. So life is good. I'm the luckiest person on earth.
Yeah.
So, but to be there, I had to go through a lot, and I have changed a lot. If you start thinking that you are the luckiest person on the earth, you will really find that yes, you are. So it's up to
Yeah.
you. No one made me the luckiest. I made myself. I'm the boss. Okay, so if you start doing that, I'm the boss of this house. Yeah, I am the boss of it. Who's going to say no?
Yeah.
So it's up to the way you portray yourself. You respect yourself. You start thinking about yourself good.
Yeah. You need to build a good connection with yourself first.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you degrade yourself, yeah, Mishko, ye problem, I am like this, I'm like that, then even people will start saying that about you. But
Yeah.
if you say no, I'm good, man, I'm the best. So yeah, people, yeah, he's the best. Yeah. So you have to have that confidence in yourself then.
Yes. So
I'm
what
not
I
a big Gyani and all, but but the talking like this also makes me feel good and feel like, okay, yeah, encourages me. So do that all the time.
yeah. So what are your thoughts on the work and help Zen-Oncology.io and Levels Cancer are doing?
I'm sorry, your voice is breaking. Could you say that again?
What are your thoughts on the help and work Levels Cancer and Zen-Oncology.io are doing?
Oh yeah. Fantastic. Yeah, I and Lovely Cancer is doing, because people need to be connected to groups like this for not just the other support that you help, like with connecting with doctors and all, but even talking to you makes me happy today. Like talking to on Lovely Cancers, I always make sure it's on Sunday morning for me, but uh, I make sure I be there and I listen to other people. You get to learn so many things. You get to learn so many different things, and you get to understand from where these people are coming. So then when you know that you're not just alone, there are other people, you feel better.
Yeah.
I'm not just the one. So if they are, it's okay. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be in pain, because it's everywhere. So that actually makes you feel better. So I'm very grateful to Dimple and Kishan Bhai and all you, Divya and all, who have thought about this. Like, during my time, there were very few groups like this, and very few support things. Yeah, much appreciated. And I see people connecting with each other through you, and I have become a good friend with so many cancer fighters and survivors and caregivers, and I like talking to them and I like listening to them, and it's really so good. So thank you for all that you people do.
Yeah, and you are contributing in that.
Yeah, I'm thankful that I get an opportunity from you to contribute and to try to help others and do what I can.
Yeah. So cancer is still a taboo in India and everywhere. Like,
Yeah.
seems like a deadly disease for everyone. So how can we burst these myths around cancer and help cancer patients?
Yeah. So uh, I'll give you a recent example. I had been to my dentist. I need to keep going there because of my great duplicate teeth. So the dentist I believe she was a trainee doctor or something like that. She was new and she was doing some work on my teeth, and she asked me, what happened? Why did like, you're not old. How did you lose your teeth? I just told her I had cancer. And she jumped down. Like, it was an instant reaction. She might have not even thought, but the word cancer made her go back. That's how people think about it. It's not contagious. It's not going to spread. Cancer doesn't. It's not contagious. So, but it's not her fault because she has been the thinking of it as like that. So I would think people should talk more about it. It happens to anybody. There are childhood cancers. There are people who are very fit and fine, and they have cancer. So it's and basically there are people still taking advantage of such situation. Like, it's all your bad deeds that you do and all that. They need to be put in jail. And yeah, or so I make sure when I see anything like this, I keep them out, and I tell people there's nothing like this. Understand what is cancer first thing, that it's a body and cells mutate, and it's very natural to happen to anybody. It is no karni and no deeds and nothing comes in that. So groups like yours, like, yeah, you people need to you do that, and you still need to keep doing more on spreading the awareness. I believe there should be a chapter in school as well. I don't know if it's now, but about cancer and how it should be done. So kids are aware about it right from the beginning, that it's curable first thing, and it happens to anybody.
Yeah.
And you should not panic. And they should also take kids to this cancer ward on school outings and trips, so that they know that if they smoke and they do all those things, they're going to land here. So they should not smoke and
Yeah.
have those bad habits. So that fear should be there in their minds. And people should speak openly. There are still so many people who don't talk. Even I had a couple of cousins and relatives who they had cancer. They didn't let us know till the very end, when it was when we could not just do anything. But if they had let us know that one of my uncle, he passed away recently. So if we knew, I would have gotten in contact with you people, or tried to do something to at least prolong his life or something. Something would be helpful, but they just didn't. He's just ill. He's not feeling well, and it's difficult to make them. And they are all educated people. They are not like that. That they don't. They know, but they still have that mindset that needs to be changed. So that's a lot we need to do about making people talk openly about it. I talk that even in my everywhere I go, I say I'm a cancer survivor. I had cancer. I used to smoke. There's no harm in saying that. What's going to happen? Other people will learn from you. Yeah.
Correct. And what is there to hide from it? It's
Exactly.
not your fault, so why to hide?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a disease like any other disease, but it's just a little
Yeah.
more on the higher side. That's it. No big deal.
Yeah. And it's on the higher side, but it's a long and tiring journey. But a survivor has been through all these things and come out more stronger. So one should respect that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rather than
And
neglecting them and ignoring
neglecting
talking
them,
with them.
it's difficult. I completely agree. Like people should be a little more sensitive to people. People who lose their hair and who lose their teeth, and everyone has a different side effect. Like some people who have operation on their jaws might have
Yeah.
some other problems, but you should know that they have fought a battle and they have come out
Yeah.
victorious. They are alive after all that.
Mhm.
So try just uprooting one teeth and see how it pains. When people
Yeah.
lose all their teeth, how much they must have gone through. So people need to
Yes.
understand that, and yeah, life will be more better place to live if people show some empathy and
Empathy.
support. Yeah,
Yeah, and understand each other's condition more deeply.
there are so many. Even I have seen even survivors who have fought cancer and are doing good. They don't open up. They don't identify themselves as survivors because I don't know why. But they should do the same because if you talk, others may start talking about the same, and then you can spread
Yeah.
more awareness on it.
Yes. So, what will be a message to people watching this video?
Ah, message would be like, yeah, see, miracles happen. You need to have confidence in yourself. You think good about yourself first, then that works a lot. And cancer is not the end. It's just a normal disease like any other disease. Only thing the treatment is different from the others. It's a longer treatment, but it is curable if you're diagnosed early and treated in the correct way.
Yeah.
Stay away from all those peddlers who sell fake cures and all. And again, I would want people to get connected to groups like you as an onco, and find support from there. Take advantage of all those help they provide, and live life every day as if there's no tomorrow. Don't crave, don't complain. Stop complaining. Be happy, and you should do good. Big message.
Yeah. So, thank you so much. It was really very inspiring talking to you.
Thank you, Divya. Thank you for being patient with me, and I can talk on, and then I forget the question, and Maggie, what was the question? I'm sorry for all
No,
that.
no, that's okay. I enjoyed it.
It's always good talking to you. It's always you make me go back to my times, and while I'm talking to you, I'm thinking about, oh yeah, all those things. So it makes me feel good as well. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
You too. Take care. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.